Hello, this video recording is about the Pythagorean theorem. If you remember from geometry, when you have a right triangle, boom, Pythagorean theorem says that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, or the sum of the squares of the legs is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So let's look at an example. We'll be solving this using quadratic equations. So here's my first example. Dun, 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 dun. Here's our triangle. It's got lengths, the length of, or legs, the length of x minus 1 and x minus 3, and a hypotenuse of 2 radical 5. It is critical that you show your work. So to set up the equation and show every step, it's so easy to make a mistake. X minus 1 squared plus x minus 3 squared equals 2 square root of 5 squared. X minus 1 squared means x minus 1 times x minus 1. Show this step, show this step, show this step. You'll make a mistake if you don't. X minus 3 times x minus 3 equals 2 radical 5 times 2 radical 5. And then we multiply, binomial multiplication. X times x, x squared, minus 1x, minus 1x, minus 2x, plus 1. Or, if you think about our double smiley, minus 1x is minus 2x, plus x times x, x squared, or double smiley, minus 3x, minus 6x, plus 9, equals 2 times 2 is 4, radical 5 times radical 5 is 5. Now we combine our like terms. X squared and x squared, 2x squared. Negative 2x and negative 6x, negative 8x, a positive 1 and a positive 9 is plus 10. And lastly, 4 times 5 is 20. All right. I'm going to subtract 20 minus 20, and we end up with 2x squared minus 8x minus 10 equals 0. Our answers for these problems will always be rational numbers. Therefore, it's in your best interest to factor. It's the easiest way. But from here on out, you can use whatever method you want. as long as you do it correctly. Factor out the greatest common factor, 2x squared minus 4x, to quantity x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. And then we have x minus 5 and x plus 1 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. X is equal to 5. X plus 1 equals 0. X equals negative 1. Now, we have to look at the problem. I didn't give you the instructions. The instructions are find the lengths of the sides of the triangle. Not find x. You need to find x, but what are the lengths? Well, notice x is negative 1 or 5. If x is negative 1, this leg would be negative 1 minus 1, which is negative 2. Triangle cannot have a length of negative 2. Just because it's negative x, the x has a negative value, doesn't mean it's a bad solution. In this case it is, but you need to check them always. X is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4, 5 minus 1 equals 4, that's good. 5 minus 3 equals 2, that's good. My lengths are 4, 2, and 2 radical 5. That's it. All we're doing is using the Pythagorean theorem with what we just learned. Show this step. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Very few of us can do this 100% of the time, 100% correctly, without showing our work. It's very simple to show. Please show it. And I encourage you to factor. Factoring is the easiest way to solve problems like this. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.